Welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Marietta.
And I'm Connie, and we are two crazy cousins, and we are talking about going on from gossip, we're going to rumors.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Can we get the song rights to that song, please?
Well, that's why I didn't actually play the song and just terribly sang it, because they can't.
Yeah, because
say anything.
they can't. Well, I'm just kidding. No, they won't.
Maybe.
We'll cross our fingers. Or else we'll have to get some fancy lawyers for the podcast that nobody listens to. Or, no, I'm sorry. Many people listen to. Tons of people.
That certain people listen to.
Don't tell. Yes. Don't tell anybody. So, last week we talked about gossip.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we're talking about rumors because they're kind of hand in hand. They're a little bit different. Rumors are a little bit more malicious, I would say.
No, I would too, because rumors, I feel like it's like a ball going down a hill. It moves a lot faster and it grabs a lot more people on the way down.
And it just can also, like a snowball, spiral out of control.
Kind of like we talked about last week, like right now, people are posting all sorts of rumors about coronavirus and how it spreads and how it doesn't spread and if you should wear a mask or not wear a mask, and nobody knows what's actually the truth because there's so many rumors engulfing it that you're like, I don't know what to believe.
Basically, I wrote that down, and it was one of the reasons why I'm like, I think we could continue to talk about this. And I actually put a little note that, rumors because of the coronavirus can then lead to anxieties. What should you do? What should you not do? And getting mixed messages and different rumors are interesting.
Yeah, and I know we both don't particularly like over talking about the coronavirus, but it is a good example, especially right now, of a lot of rumors that are going around that are scaring people and giving them anxiety.
Oh, for sure. I had to talk a coworker off a ledge about that.
Which is sad. I mean, it's sad that you even have to go there, but, people rely on what their friends are posting on Facebook as news.
Yep. And that's why, like we said, rumors and gossip kind of go hand in hand. But the rumors aren't really based on anything, and they're harder to squash because you have to go and find the person who originally said it, originally posted it, thought it, and started spreading it to stop it. And it's harder to disprove. Like we're talking about the coronavirus. There's a lot of misinformation out there because scientists just don't know.
Which I would love for one of the scientists to legitimately just admit that they don't know. I'm waiting for it. It's not bad to not know. I mean, we don't know everything about this disease. I wish somebody would just come out and say, we don't know.
We don't know yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
And it's so widely varying between like who gets it, but that's like neither here nor there. It just shows you that it can be more malicious. It's harder to stop because do you see any of these rumors stopping? No. It's getting worse.
Well, and it doesn't help either that people are figuring it out by doing like the background checks. Like I know your husband listens to Shapiro too, Ben Shapiro. Kyle listens to him too. And he made a really valiant point about China and their rumors, because China has had a lot of rumors, and how they were talking about the actual death count versus how many urns are being made and produced, and the numbers are not anywhere close. I mean, it's bad.
Wow.
I don't know all the numbers, and I don't want to start throwing out numbers because I don't remember all the numbers off the top of my head. But if you listen to Ben Shapiro,
it demonstrates the point.
Yeah, if you listen to his podcast, he goes into it in detail how the numbers are totally off, and China is flat out lying about what is really going on.
But we already all knew that.
Oh yeah, we knew that.
At least I did. When this first started happening, and I was talking to a coworker about it, it was like, well, they're going to clearly lie. So we don't really have a great time frame. And maybe that's why our quarantine has been extended till the end of April, because there is not a great time period for it, because you can't really base it off China because they're lying.
Right, exactly. And that's what they were using. They were basing their projections off of China, which I mean, has not proved to go so well.
Well, and there's a lot of differences because they didn't really start quarantining until very late. And so of course it's going to be different.
Exactly.
That was the whole point. But anyway, let's get off of the corona subject because it's touchy. You're not really listening to this podcast for news. Let's face it. You're listening for Rietta singing. Right?
Yes. And Connie's corny jokes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get off that. Plus, I'm sure like most people, I'm tired of hearing about it all the time. So we'll use other examples now of rumors.
Because in our family, it's actually really hard to differentiate rumors from gossip, let's face it, because I feel like some rumors just form from gossip to just kind of like transform because you add stuff on like a bad game of telephone.
Like we've talked about.
But like we have previously talked about.
Connie and I both have pretty good examples within our own family and our own experiences with our family of how rumors have gotten OC.
Basically, our rumors are almost the same. They're both pregnancy rumors. And I had a couple. One that I accidentally started myself because I was getting a drink with my cousin and brother. And I had a regular drink and I had a shot. But I knew in like an hour or two I needed to go home. So I started drinking water. Mm-hmm. And I posted on Facebook that like a picture of me and my cousin, and I was like, oh, time to start drinking water. Mm-hmm. And somebody legit, like, I got like 3-4 text messages saying, are you pregnant? And I'm like, no, why would you think that? And they're like, oh, well, somebody told me you were pregnant. I was like, not at all.
It's like, no, but thanks.
It's like, no.
And I'm also not sure how they would get there because if you did have a shot.
Well, but see, it's just a photo of me and my cousins. Like they didn't see what I was drinking or anything, and they definitely weren't there to see that I had a shot and a drink and stuff with my cousins. They just saw a picture of me, my cousin, and my brother at a bar, and then a caption saying "Time to switch to water," or something funny, stupid like that.
Something to be like that, and they took it too far.
But I found the way I was able to stop it, because like it didn't get all that far, is basically I found the person who started the rumor, and it just so happened on Black Friday I saw the woman because I was told who told them, and I was like, yeah, I'm not pregnant, because she actually even outright asked me if I was pregnant. I was like, I'm not pregnant at all. And she was like, what? I saw that photo of you only drinking water. I'm like, you misinterpreted.
That's another, people tend to jump to conclusions, which drives me bananas, which also results in rumors because they think because they see one aspect of a conversation or one aspect of a photo that they know the whole story, and they don't. Especially
photos. Like, you don't know, like they clearly did not know that I had like a shot, a drink, whatever,
That's like, I have so many hiking pictures, it's ridiculous. Not that that's the point. But I'm still posting hiking pictures because they're fun and they're pretty and I like to. And I've had a couple of people message me that are like, you are not supposed to be hiking. We're supposed to be social distancing, blah, 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 blah. Which they're starting a rumor based off of an assumption that I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to do. Which, first of all, we can hike in certain areas, but that's not the point. Second of all, that picture was taken 2 months ago. So
that's hilarious.
You have no idea. Like, you can't assume just because you saw my picture that I did that today. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world that uses older pictures or pictures from a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. And I know it's so weird, though, that speaking of, like, hiking, that they're assuming that you're doing something wrong, when in fact we were driving around on Saturday or whatever, and like a bunch of people were just parked on the side of the road. They didn't give a fuck that they closed the parks, because there's a trail near us. And there's like a bunch of different stops, and some of them, any that are actually able to be closed off are, and the few that don't have it, they're just open. So people go park, and there have been more people at parks than I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, there's never this many cars. Like, now all of a sudden you're like, let's go take a walk because I'm bored.
I mean, it's kind of a good thing in a way. I'm glad people are getting out. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with being outside and being
But
social
now
distance from people.
But you're not. If there's so many people on one trail, are you really all that much social distancing?
Oh, yeah, no, if there's hundreds of people on the trail, then absolutely not. But usually when you go, like even around here, if I go to a fairly popular trail that's considered still open, which I went on, when did I go? Friday. Friday was the first time that I'd gone hiking since this whole situation.
I'm surprised you were able to hold off that long, honestly.
Me too, but I was really trying to follow the rules, and then when they released, the governor got on and released that certain parks, or not parks, certain hiking areas were open, because a lot of our hikes here aren't a part of state parks or not a part of parks at all. So they allow you to, just don't get close to another group of people, which is pretty easy. I mean, if the trail's 2 miles, you just keep your distance from people.
Yeah.
But anyway, we ended up back on Corona, which is not where we wanted to be. So we're gonna back it up to our pregnancy rumors. I had one too, which is kind of funny. My husband and I have known each other for a really long time, and we had kind of a back and forth relationship. And when we finally got back together, we did not wait long to get married. Like, we started talking again, I think it was in like April, and we got married in June. So it was really quick. So you can imagine, because that happened so quickly, people in my family were like, oh, she must be pregnant, because why would they get married so fast? Because apparently nobody gets married fast unless they're pregnant.
Apparently. I mean, there are some other examples of people doing that.
I'm sure there are people that do that. And not that it even matters. I mean, at least they're getting married and trying to, I don't want to say do the right thing, because that's not even the right way to word it. But, I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But don't start a rumor about me, assuming that's the way I did it.
Yeah, as usual, our family takes things out of control. And they just want reasons. They just want to know. And that's the problem, is that our whole family, they just want to know. They want to know everything that's going on, all the gossip, all the rumors. And if not, they'll speculate.
Right. They'll make it up. Like, they just want to know why, which is crazy. And our family is kind of old school, I feel, compared to like a lot of families. And I think all of us did pretty good. We all got married and had kids in the proper way. And I say proper in quotes because things have changed a lot. But our family still definitely believes that you get married, you get engaged, you get married, you have kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely had the feeling growing up of, if you don't do it the right way, you are then not a part of this family anymore. Vibe. It's not that anybody came out and said, if you get pregnant before you're married, you will be crucified, you will not be allowed in this family. But it was implied.
Yes, which makes that rumor even more hurtful. Oh, well, you only got married because you're pregnant and because you didn't want to disappoint the family. So how dare you? And it's like, well, that's not anywhere close to the truth, but okay.
Yep, exactly. And then I had one started from and by the family almost. I was able to stop it pretty freaking quickly. But basically, after we got back from our honeymoon, which was in May, July came around, which is the annual 4th of July party. Mm-hmm. And, it's noon. I just wanted a Coke. I didn't need rum in it. I'm not an alcoholic. And I have learned from many, many aunts that you don't want to necessarily lean on your ability to drink or not drink so much. Mm-hmm. Anyway, my brother said loud enough for the whole party to hear, is there a particular reason you're not drinking alcohol? Are you pregnant? No, not pregnant. Just wanted a Pepsi. It's noon.
And not that it's any of your business, but no, I'm not.
And also, that's not how I would want to tell people either. It's a whole
guessing game. Why am I only having a Coke today? Do 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 do.
Well, and then if that's the truth, like, you could say that about, then I might have been pregnant a million times, just about. Mm-hmm. Because I very rarely drink at family gatherings. I'll have one, maybe, but most of the time, yeah, it's just a Coke.
Yeah, you're kind of like me. I feel like I did enough of it in college, and I'm older now, and my body doesn't process it like it used to, so I just don't drink as much anymore. And I get the same stuff. They're like, we're at a party. Why aren't you having a drink? And I'm like, why? What? I can have fun without having a drink, but thanks,
That,
though.
well, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen enough of my aunts go too far at parties because of alcohol, and I'm not
Yeah.
about that life. Definitely don't want to embarrass myself in front of family.
Yeah, no.
And
I
yeah, and I can't process alcohol for shit. I can have one drink and headache instantly. Like
see.
give it an
Okay,
hour and I'll have a headache.
it's not just
So
me
I
then.
don't bother. No, it's definitely not.
Huh. It must be our lovely blood. We have weird blood in our family, so.
We're all sorts of weird, I don't even know, illnesses slash people just don't get better. Like bad immune systems almost. I don't
I
think
have
that
a
that's
great
really
immune.
well, but it's hard healing. Like I remember my mom would always say when I broke my elbow when I was
Uh-huh.
5, that I should have healed quicker than I
Uh-huh.
actually did. And they were almost worried that my arm wasn't going to grow normally
Hmm.
because it was growing at such a slow rate. Like the bone was repairing at such a slow rate. So maybe that's really what I mean. It's like you're slow from like getting physically, when you're physically hurt, slower for the mend. At least I for sure am most of the time.
No, I'm not like that either. I'm pretty good on that stuff, but yeah, my body doesn't metabolize alcohol very well anymore. I think maybe I got sick of it after college, and it's like, I'm done with this, whatever this is. So
Yeah,
every time you
now I'm
drink it from
just
now on, you're gonna get a headache.
that's pretty much what happens to me. But that's been happening to me since I was 21, basically.
Well,
I was never really good at metabolizing alcohol. So like the only time I ever really wanted to get super wasted, schwasty, wasted, whatever, was when I knew I had like a ride home, and it was normally like with certain friends who were just gonna like push drinks at me. Where that's really the only time I would really get wasted. Yes, and no matter what, I even if I just had a glass of wine, my head would
right.
hurt the next day because my body is great. Which this is all really off topic, but whatever.
Yes. We're gonna get back on topic now. We're gonna get back to our rumors
And I
topic.
can't for the life of me find a joke or a way to bring the way our bodies metabolize alcohol back to rumors. Hey, maybe
That's too
it's
bad.
because, well, you know what it is? I know why we got into this in the first place. I can bring it all back, guys.
All right, I'm
Watch,
waiting.
there's this wordsmithing going on over here. The reason why we're talking about alcohol is because a lot of the rumors in our family are started because of alcohol. Because when you start drinking alcohol, you're gonna just say fucking anything. Thus
That is true.
why, thus why everybody said, "Oh, you must be pregnant. You're pregnant, right?" Hey,
That
people
is
were
true.
taking bets, and I really feel like I should get on this. At my wedding, people were taking bets on how soon I was going to get pregnant, and everyone's like, "Psh, in a year she'll be pregnant." Bitch, it's 2 years. Give me my money.
And just P.S. I did not participate in this.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think you did. I
No, I
just
did.
know I only know because my sister-in-law told me. She was like, yeah, there was just a bunch of people at the bar taking bets on how soon you would be pregnant. I was like,
That's
that's
lovely.
guys.
Well, that's like the one aunt that I stopped talking to. That all started because of a rumor too, because I was this terrible granddaughter and I was this terrible daughter, and I'm like, where are you getting this information from? Like, did you just poof that out of air, or is that the alcoholic dragon talking?
Probably a little bit of both because they're just assuming stuff or they're hearing rumors like we're talking about. See, and that's the point is that rumors are a lot harsher than gossip in our opinions.
Yeah, well, because it all starts, it doesn't even start in truth. Like sometimes gossip can start in some form of truth, or there might even be some truth to it. But a lot of times rumors have no truth to it at all, and it's all based off an assumption or just something they totally just decided was something that was going to happen.
Yeah, like you saw me drinking a Pepsi and not vodka, so therefore you're making an assumption because I'm not drinking, I am pregnant, which really would be every day of my life.
Yeah, and you see it a lot in like the sports community too, when players are being
for sure.
Yeah, when players are being traded or coaches are getting fired, there's a lot of assumptions made, and people are like, oh, he's getting fired because of this, or oh, this player is going to end up here because of this, and then they end up in a totally different spot. So there's usually a lot of rumors that speed around with that.
And even with that stuff, then people start making like bets on that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
they do.
Getting traded where, and like that's a complete rumor. Like that could not even happen.
Right.
That's a very risky bet.
It is. and those rumors aren't necessarily as hurtful because I doubt the players really care what the general public has to say. I mean, they might, but most of the time they're not as harmful. It's just rumors about what team they're going to end up on, or
that's
why
probably
they're getting fired.
The lightest or like nicest types of rumors.
Yeah. Well,
there's all those celebrity rumors too.
Yeah.
She's pregnant because she was on her period and bloating a bit, or whomever.
Yeah. She cheated on him or he cheated on her, whatever it is. I think the biggest rumor that I remember fairly recent was with Patrick Kane and that girl that accused him of, I don't know if it was straight molesting her or whatever it was, but he accused her, and he lost the cover of the EA NHL game, and he lost a bunch of stuff, and then it came out later that she lied about it, and he lost all these. I mean, granted, he's got a crap ton of money, but I mean, it was a big blemish on his record and a big blemish on his personality. People still joke about it. Like, I see it all the time on the sports pages. They're like, oh,
and you're like, not funny.
They're like, oh, he's just a rapist. I'm like, actually, he's not, because he was never charged because the girl lied about it. But sure, he's a rapist. Like, why?
Yeah. Also, not a funny joke.
No, not at all. And
yes, great to joke about that kind of thing.
I mean, he's a celebrity in a way. He's a famous person. He's a well-known hockey player, but that's still not nice. You wouldn't talk about anybody you know that way, and you shouldn't talk about somebody like that when it's not true.
100%.
It makes me so mad. Rumors make me so mad.
That's because we've been affected by rumors before, and then there are Patrick Kane and other people that were like, oh my God, they're so cool, but then they were harmed by rumors.
Yeah, and it makes me mad because I don't know, do these people not think about what it feels like to have that done? I mean, how could you not put yourself in that situation and be like, man, that was me, that would fucking suck.
For that girl, I bet you it was money, 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 money.
Probably.
She wanted that money.
And she figured he would just settle so he wouldn't tarnish his reputation, and then when he didn't, it went sideways.
Exactly. Thus money. And that's no excuse to be a shitty person.
No.
By the way, if you guys were wondering, if you were thinking, but money, no. It's not an excuse.
No, it's not. It makes you upset because nobody deserves to be treated like that. Which we could talk about also, of course, that if you hear a rumor spread about you, to take it with a grain of salt and then
the same thing can be
fix it
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that's the problem is fixing it. Because like what happened with Kane, it's not really fixed. Mm-hmm. You can't really fix it because she already came out with the lies. Yes, we know they're lies, but people are still spreading it. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to nip it in the bud because people still talk about it.
Yeah, he has a permanent nick on his record or on his reputation for something that he didn't even do. So that's just another reason why if you hear something about somebody, you really need to make sure it's true before you participate in passing it along. Because if it turns out not to be true, you're going to look just as jerky as the person that started it.
Yeah, and like you said before, you need to think on how would it make me feel if somebody did this to me.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, both of our rumor stories, or whatever you would like to call them, they both aren't particularly harmful. They're a little bit mean. It's like, hey, why does my only value in whether I'm pregnant or not is a really good question in our family. Why are both of all of our rumors about us being pregnant? Who cares? Right. And why do you even need to say, are you pregnant? If I'm pregnant, I will tell you.
Right. And it's none of your business. What goes on with my husband in my life is none of your business. When I am ready to tell you, I will tell you. When it happens, I will tell you. But to think that the only, like you said, the only value or the only reason I would have to marry my husband is because I'm pregnant is a really shitty thing to say or to assume. Yeah. That's a shitty thing to assume about me, that the only reason my husband would marry me is, oh, well, I knocked her up, so I guess I should do the right thing.
Yeah, 100%. At least the only nice thing about our rumors is that they're really not damaging to our, the little, whatever you want to call it, not gossip, but our value. We don't have a black mark on our record now because somebody thought we were pregnant.
Right, exactly.
No. Hey, that's one way to disprove a rumor then. Now that everybody's on your cell phone recording shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
One way to disprove it.
Which is sad.
If you're so lucky, if you're lucky enough to where that's okay, that happens.
Yeah, which is sad that you even have to go down that road. Yeah.
And nobody trusts anyone's word anymore.
Right. So that's just another point of ours that we were proving how much more impactful rumors can be and how they can really affect somebody's life.
And if you think about it also, in the story of the cops and the coronavirus, I can't see it helping people's mental health. You know what I mean?
Which actually is kind of funny. It plays into another rumor. One of our uncles,
oh boy,
never actually believed my dad was a police officer. He thought he was just, I don't know, a security guard or something. And he was telling all of the family that he wasn't a real cop. And,
I remember that rumor.
Yeah, see? It got around until it finally got to my mom. And my mom was like, excuse me?
Yes,
who started this rumor? And if you go ask him, his badge is in his pocket. So
yep. I think I even remember your dad taking out his badge.
I don't even know why that even. What's the point of that?
Jealousy, because that uncle almost became a cop and believes that he knows the laws better than anybody else.
Yeah, so that was
because I know exactly who you're talking about. She doesn't even have to tell me that name, and I know.
That's another sad thing. But yeah, that was another one that was going around, and my mom was like, he works his butt off to keep the community safe for pennies on the dollar because he wants to. So shut your frickin' mouth.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to.
No, and he made less money than most of the workers at McDonald's make nowadays.
I bet.
So,
I mean, that's another travesty. That's another topic for another day. Wages.
Well, and not all police departments obviously are like that. A lot of them do make good money, but when you work for a small department like that doesn't have a lot of money, I mean, he was literally making pennies on that. I was not.
Well, and it also depends on location, how many been at the job, your training, your certs, all that type of thing. I know it definitely does for firemen, for sure. Firemen, paramedics, and EMTs, like they all have different pay scales depending.
Yeah, and of course, like the military time and grade, the longer time you've been working, the more money you make. And part of it was he worked part-time. So when you work part-time, I think they made even less money than the guys that were full-time. So automatically the full-time guys had a higher pay scale than the part-time guys. But, I mean, that's still BS.
That's literally a whole nother conversation because you can say that about, like, EMTs, same thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that type of services. And even, like, my friend is a nurse, a phlebotomist, and she's making, I don't really feel like that's enough. If she's making about the same amount as you could at, say, Menards.
Yeah.
or a warehouse job, but you're
Mhm.
taking people's blood and you're more at risk,
Yeah.
especially during these times. Like, are you joking?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, because the economy is pretty much tanked right now. The only plus is everybody's economy is kind of, the whole country is kind of tanked. So it's
And
going to be interesting to see.
the whole world is kind of
Yeah.
tanked.
So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what does happen with wages and 401ks and all that. But we're not going to get into all that because that's just too much.
Another topic.
Yeah.
And it's also another topic that we're not economists, and I'm not giving anybody financial advice.
Oh gosh, no. No. I'm not good at that
We're
kind
here
of stuff.
we're here just to gossip, honestly. Let's be real. We don't practice what we preach, we gossip. Here we are gossiping for what episode is this? 8, 9?
8, not yeah, something like that. I actually want to say it's not even necessarily that we're guessing.
I'm just kidding.
We're teaching you guys from our bad experiences to not have our bad experiences.
And also to give you a few laughs.
Yeah. Learn from I don't want to say mistakes because our family can't really be a mistake.
Learn from our craziness and humor.
Yes.
Because we pretty much hide things with humor. Let's face it. We hide our pain with the humor.
We do. We do. Oh man. I had actually kind of forgotten about that story, so feeling it again in the heart.
You're like, oh.
Oh, the pinginess.
Yeah, well, if it makes you feel better, I mean, that uncle
Is a jackass?
Just does a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, it's really not a surprise.
So, we got to do what we normally do. We got to cover the main points, and you're going to do it this week.
Oh, yay. Joy.
Happy, joy.
So, basically, we've moved on from gossip to rumors. They're more difficult to deal with. It's harder to stop them, harder to find the source, and to not do it because it's hurtful. You could be walking around with that black mark on your personal record and how people view you for a long time just because of a rumor. So just don't. And we understand that gossip can maybe lead into some rumors, but it's not good for anybody. Neither gossip nor rumors are good for anybody.
And if you drink alcohol and it causes you to gossip or rumor, watch your alcohol consumption.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm pretty sure that's how all of our family rumors have started. Too much to drink.
Which is really kind of sad.
I don't know if that's true or not, but knowing our family, they could have all been stone cold sober.
No, because there's only really the one that drank a lot. Because if you think about the other ones, they really... I mean, my mom does, but not lavishly. I mean, not out of control. Your mom doesn't.
My mom definitely doesn't. Your mom and our aunts, other two aunts, definitely when they were together would. Like, if they were all in for, like, Christmas or Thanksgiving or a holiday, no, they were for sure all drinking.
Which is interesting because neither Grandma and Grandpa drink.
Yeah.
And the boys they did get her to do a ski shot in Colorado, which was impressive. I
think for her birthday the past 2 or 3 years, we've been doing shots at our house whenever we'd have her over for her birthday dinner.
Well, and Fireball's pretty mild. Yeah.
Hey, but it is a shot, and I still show people, I'm like, hey, look at my grandma, she's 90, and she takes shots. She is way cooler than your grandma, let me tell you.
She is the coolest grandma.
Basically. I can only aspire to be that cool when I am 90.
I was going to say, if I make it that long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main points.
Main points in a random tangent. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you drink alcohol and it causes you to be a mean, nasty person, you might want to rethink it.
True.
So it does kind of play in. So yeah, don't ruin somebody's life by spreading rumors. I know you think it's funny, but it's not. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Rietta.
I'm Connie.
And thank you for listening.